Hey everyone, I'm Laura.
Yeah, as you know, I'm infertility.
Is that your name?
Yeah. And I'm John.
So, as you know, we've been sharing our infertility journey and the infertility man. So, because we've sort of been going through some negative parts of our story, we haven't been sharing so much on social media lately.
No, that's right.
I just think it's a bit triggering sometimes on social media, but we're still sharing our whole experience over on YouTube.
Catching you up, yes.
So if you want to follow along with what's going on, go to YouTube, subscribe, and come with us for the story, because I kind of feel like we have stuff that we need to share, because
There's a lot of stuff we didn't share because I guess at the time we didn't think it really mattered, but
you're
being
talking
in the situation we're in now, I think
Yeah.
it's quite prudent that we actually share.
after sort of a number of losses and things are not looking right with our fertility at the moment, and we don't really believe in unexplained infertility, we believe in unexplored fertility. So we have to take you back in time basically for this video. We need to go back to 2020, which is when we started our one successful pregnancy
Yep.
that resulted in our daughter. And there was something that happened at the start of that pregnancy that we didn't share at the time.
There's actually a lot of things that sort of went on in that later,
Yeah.
but
We
we
just-
chose not to share.
At the
so-
time, we wanted to share that, we were pregnant and it was great and all of that. And we felt like the negative things that happened at the start of that pregnancy, okay, they were just a weird glitch and they weren't really relevant.
And we just sort of, what's the next step?
Skipped over
Let's
that.
just go.
But we need to take you back and show you that, because it's becoming relevant now, because
It's actually really important.
it sort of highlights the fact that we've actually never had a successful, a straightforward transfer, even though we have one child.
One child, yeah.
So we're going to take you back to 2020, right in the middle of COVID lockdowns. And we're going to show you what happened back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go back in time to 2020.
I think it's important. It's very important, actually.
Yeah, so
It'll
here's...
probably give it will give a lot of context.
Yeah, and it's something that we've been thinking about, because something's going wrong at the start of our transfers, even the transfer that was successful.
Yeah.
And so that's relevant, because we're like, something's not right. So back to
And
2020.
that sort of sent us back to the
Yeah.
trenches.
All right, here it is.
A hard call to get after starting so well. The nurses have called, and whilst the HCG numbers have risen a little bit, it's nowhere near where they would expect for a viable pregnancy to be. So next week we'll have to go in, and I think they're going to have a scan, and I think they look for ectopics or potentially. So it's basically down to the point that if it's an ectopic, they can deal with it, or maybe it was an embryo that just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Just wasn't ready. But as you can see, it's quite hard. We've experienced a lot in the last week. So many ups and downs, and even just seeing the actual embryos just be created was just, it blew my mind. Still blows my mind. Though at this stage, it's looking like what do we call him? Sesame. May not make it, or wasn't ready to join us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was scared on Monday and just see what's going on, and then figure out how it's going to miscarry.
Yeah. So progesterone levels are still normal, and so it looks like that Laura's body is doing all it possibly can to see if it can get the embryo over the line, though I think on Monday we'll know a lot more.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's hard with infertility because a miscarriage is hard at the best of times, but now we have to go back and do another cycle and more injections and more money, more, and
Just more.
we only have a finite number of embryos, so just have to figure out how to end this pregnancy first. That's all.
Yeah.
Nothing more to say about that.
No. What? Oh my God! What just happened?
I'm in a bit of shock.
Holy shit! If I can jump in, I have literally had the toughest weekend ever, and Laura has had probably the worst weekend ever as well. And it's because I watched her go through so much with what
I'm so confused because
we were told on Friday that our HCG wasn't rising, which can indicate that there's the pregnancy isn't. It's an ectopic or.
Over the weekend, I still right now have this pain in my ovary. So I was just like, okay, it's an ectopic. It's, and the nurse said to us that they didn't expect that the pregnancy would continue. So we really kind of grieved that, and that was what we believed to be true. But then we just had a bit of an experience.
We watched a little heartbeat.
So John because everyone was thinking for the worst, John actually got to come in despite the COVID restrictions. And
Yeah.
so John came in and they did the scan, and I was preparing myself because I'm like, okay, this is going to be, because I can feel it, my left ovary hurts, like it hurts, and I'm like, okay, so there's something in my tube. And she went in and she's like, okay, there's your baby. And I was like,
Right in the middle. Right.
and she said, there's a heartbeat. No, I was like, what? And she had a look at my ovaries, and what did she say? My right
Your right ovary is reduced, and
it was about point.
No, your right ovary is about 20 something millimeters.
Yeah.
No, 2 centimeters, 2 cubic centimeters.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
2 cubic centimeters, and the other one is 35
Cubic centimeters.
So the left one is really, really sore because it's very inflamed.
Well, you think it's been punctured 15 times, and it's being asked to work.
But I just
to
was
produce
sure because it was
hormones.
hurting so much. I was like, okay, this is ectopic. But she looked in, she's like, there's no sign of any ectopic.
Your tubes look good. There's no fluid in the ovaries.
And the baby looks fine. And we're just so shell-shocked.
It's literally 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters long.
It's measuring a couple of days behind, but she's like, that could be just a variance because it's so early. Like, I'm
So
only
small.
literally today is just 6 weeks. So
This is going to take some time to process.
Like, we're exhausted, and I mean, I actually don't think that the nurses could have said anything different. They would talk, and we still have to hope that the numbers get better.
I think what I did say was, even when they're asked a question, it's not about offering an opinion. It's just like,
well,
this is the facts, and that's it.
I think she didn't say your pregnancy's not going to continue. She said with numbers like these, we don't
Well,
usually
who
see.
was she talking to, and how did you take it?
Well,
You took
Our
it.
pregnancy
You took
was
it as
over.
our pregnancy was over. Okay, and that's all that matters. So
yeah.
that's all that matters. So be wary of opinions, and be wary of asking questions when you don't really want the opinion.
And I guess I also self-diagnosed because I felt this pain in my left ovary,
Dr. Google
and I had
got a hiding this weekend.
and I had the slow rising HCG, and so I just assumed, and I diagnosed myself, and I was wrong.
Yeah. So I guess what our nurse just then said, cautiously optimistic, right? And saying that, holy cow. We just watched our little heartbeat at about 106.
of a baby that we didn't think was there.
Well, at least you can stop whining about the ectopic that she said was going on.
I was so sure. I was like, surgery this week.
Didn't even think that her ovaries have they're like a 30-year-old punching bag.
They look bad. My left ovary looks bad. It's completely.
There's a lot of it's been
residual treatment cysts from 15 egg retrievals.
Hang on. Oh, that's all right. Anyway, bugger.
Yeah,
We're doing a video.
we're pregnant. We can't think about other things right now. Anyway, so that's wow. That's
All right, we're probably going to give this a couple of minutes and a couple of sandwiches from Vegan Shack to.
I actually didn't look after myself very well this weekend.
No,
I probably should try.
she literally jumped into a hole deeper than
I
the
didn't even
Grand
drink.
Canyon.
I didn't drink any water or eat any
Didn't
food.
move because she was sure that it was an ectopic, and
Well, honestly, I still think I need to stay still because my ovary feels like
maybe
it's gonna break.
not as still as you did over the weekend. You're like a corpse. Tell him it's free.
He'll find out. Free parking. All right. So I guess we're pregnant.
Until proven otherwise. This is like the worst roller coaster ever.
It's more like a haunted house.
And how many people are getting on this bloody roller coaster? But this is the worst.
It's not so bad today.
It's not so bad today.